This has to be one of the most exciting updates through this whole process of me showing you what it's like to create my book from the very beginning of writing to publishing it. Because I have finished. Not the whole thing, but I finished writing. I've been so excited about it, and the extra special part was that I got to do that with some of you watching live on Twitch. Okay, I think I finished. It's really weird. What the heck? I don't think it's gonna hit me for like 3 days or more. Thank you for being here while this happened. That's so cool. So if you have not checked out my Twitch channel, please make sure to, because I'm doing a lot of special events to celebrate the launch and like every step of the way from now until when it happens. And I do that with every one of my books. I have a lot of updates to give you, including where I have been, because I've had some ups and downs, like some pretty bad downs, so I have a lot of news. Welcome back to Okay, I had to look that up. Week 31 of Let's Make a Book Baby, where we have now named our book baby Shadow King Omega. And this is a little mock-up I did just of the cover. But yes, I really did finish writing live on stream. It was super special. If you don't know much about this book, it is an LGBTQ plus shifter book. It's like a werewolf book. And the two main characters are childhood best friends who are very clueless that they've been in love this whole time. And very confused. So this is about the two of them kind of coming to terms with that, their own misunderstandings and different guilts for not doing XYZ that they wish they could have done or whatever. Once they decide that and try to confess to one another, there's also the problem of like, okay, this changes literally everything within our relationship, or does it? Like, they have to figure that out. As I was writing the end of this book, I even felt like I was getting very emotional. There was like one scene, and it's like at the end of the spicy scene, like the biggest one in the book. So it's kind of like a slow burn to very, very high heat at the end of the, like near the end of the book especially. It sounds silly because I'm like, oh, I never usually cry. I have PTSD and or CPTSD. I feel like that was one of the effects for me, that I just stopped kind of being able to access that type of emotional expression. That means that this was very sweet. It was cute. It was like a cute, like, oh, these characters. It's something that like Ari was just like really seeing Marcus, and it felt so wholesome and so full circle that I'm just so excited to show you it. But the spicy scenes were like in deep acceptance of one another. The content of the book is extremely sweet, and at the same time I have been not treating myself well. So I'm calling myself out. I think I will literally do a full video about this and about overworking culture to call myself out and other people that I have seen do this, especially small business owners, because sometimes it feels like the only option in order to keep our businesses alive. But I don't think that they have to be at our expense. Like, I feel like there could be a better balance. I think that we can also change the narrative around that and change the expectations, both in terms of small business and in the corporate world, of what we should allow ourselves to be going through. Because there's more to life than working on things. Even though I really love this, like my whole heart is in my books, and that makes it hard because it's harder to step away and feel like I am giving enough, because it can get into this feeling of like I am never going to be able to give enough to this. That's just not true. It's something that is in my own awareness. Other people don't even know what I'm expecting it to be like. Who knows if putting too much stress and pressure is actually making the quality worse too. Like, it really could end up being that way. Ultimately, I had overworked myself again, and I have done this before, but this was bad to the point where I had such a severe Crohn's flare and I was in such severe pain that I actually called an ambulance for myself. And if you know me, that is very shocking because I do not usually seek out medical treatment. When it's necessary, because I've been turned away so many times. Like, when you have a chronic illness, it's something that like also I wrote some of like how I have seen pain and seen how it affects me into his perspective, because a lot of us with chronic illness feel like we're burdening people and we're not understood. So when we already feel like we're burdening people, then we try to explain ourselves or put ourselves out there and ask for help, and then like especially within the medical system can be very invalidating, very dismissive, especially if you are assigned female at birth, or you're queer, or you're a person of color, especially like Black and Indigenous people have a really hard time being believed and being listened to and being cared for. Also, people who are in larger bodies, they sometimes their only recommendation is like lose weight, and then like they ignore that they're like having some serious like cancer or something. Anyway, there's a lot of different ways that you can face discrimination, but I've also faced pretty severe medical trauma that makes me very avoidant of getting help. I think that I just got so focused, I got into my head this feeling of I need to do this, I need to get this book done as fast as possible, I'm behind, and I'm behind on helping my client with their stuff. I need to do like 100%, like no matter what I do, even if I'm doing all this stuff for them, it's not enough. Like it's very much like OCD sounding voice. That perfectionism and over responsibility that got me into a place of also being like, oh, it's 11:30 at night. If I finish editing 2 videos for my client, I won't have to do it tomorrow. Ignoring the fact that I've probably already done that for multiple different days with multiple different projects. So I overdid it. When I had this Crohn's flare, I was in such severe pain that I felt like I was getting lightheaded, like very close to passing out, like over and over and over again. It just kept like coming back and hitting me over and over again, and it was not slowing down. So I started having a huge anxiety attack because I was like, this is worse than usual. The EMTs came. I told this story on Twitch in more detail, and people were laughing because I was like, there was like so many men in my room. I was like, whoa. But I kind of didn't care, even though I also have other different traumas and things. Like I was like, whatever, like help me. I couldn't care. So that was saying a lot. I got some meds. I was actually listening to some of their like ultimate diagnosis, quote unquote, of what was going on with me was pretty dismissive still, but this was the best ER experience I've ever had by far. So I let myself rest after that. It was time. I'm still trying to do that. So I do think that my Kickstarter that I am launching to celebrate this project, surprise, is behind because I wanted it to have a certain timeline, but I think only I know that. I don't think that it actually matters, and if it doesn't turn out perfectly, it's okay. Like, we're gonna try. I'm still going to launch this book no matter what, but I wanted to launch it with a special edition hardcover. And if you've been following along, you might have seen me starting to illustrate this and show you how I've done that so far, and I'm super, super excited about it. It is officially going to be on Kickstarter on July 1st. The link will be in the description for you to save it for when this goes live, because the first 48 hours, there's gonna be some discounts. I also just generally want to give everyone who supports the Kickstarter an early copy of the ebook, so that like all the way in August, which is like 2 months almost before the book actually launches. Here's the plan. These last 2 weeks of June, I'm going to be talking about the Kickstarter. We're going to do like a celebration party on July 1st to launch it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/riverkai. And if you're feeling like, okay, I'm kind of out of the loop, I do also have my Discord server and or my newsletter that I'm going to keep updating people, be like, hey, here's the deal, here's where you can find this. And sometimes that's a little bit easier to keep in contact when like some of these algorithms don't really keep me in touch with everyone consistently. So I'd really appreciate if you join those. But yes, the Kickstarter is going to start July 1st and it's only going to be available for 30 days. Let me show you some exciting things about that. I did order some merch samples already, and I also did contact the manufacturer for the special edition, which here is my mock-up of it using all the art that I made for it and the sprayed edges and everything. I already worked with the manufacturer. I'm in contact with them during these 2 weeks. One of the things that I was still able to do from my bed was continue talking with them, ask them a million bajillion questions. They were very nice to me. I can do another video about how that works and everything if that's interesting to anyone, but I was able to put a very tiny deposit down to basically save our spot because I am anticipating doing this. So that is also why I grabbed some merch samples. Let me show you them both. This is the silly heat instruction manual that I ordered from a different manufacturer because they were able to do this fancy holographic foil, and it turned out so cute. This is a little journal. The back does not have foil, but I made it this like rainbow design, and this is also like what's going to be on the special edition hardcover. So this is kind of actually a good example. Just imagine this says Shadow King Omega instead of Heat Instruction Manual. It's just supposed to be a silly notebook that is like alluding to part of the book because Ari has his chronic illness, like he has a severe heat pain syndrome. He made himself like an instruction manual to give to his future mate, which, spoiler alert, is Marcus. So he gives it to Marcus, and Marcus is like laughing even though it's a serious moment, and he's like, only you would write an instruction manual for yourself. So I gave us a little journal. I thought maybe that you could use it for like keeping track of books that you were reading, or if you want to just use it as a regular journal, but there's a little space for like a number and date up here, and then it's lined, and there's like a good amount of pages. I wasn't sure how many it would end up looking like, so I was like, that's pretty good notebook. I was happy with that sample. And another thing that I got in the mail so far is that I made some washi tape, and it is super cute. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm not going to unwrap these until after the Kickstarter begins and I'm like starting to pack people's orders and stuff, but I had them put like a little topper to it, so it says like the details on it. It is 3 centimeters, so it's a thick washi tape, but it's 10 meters long, which is 30 feet long. So you can see that the roll is not like one of those small rolls. It's like a thicker roll of washi tape. I wanted it to be really nice for everyone. It has the design from the cover with Ari and Marcus's little wolves on it, and I made sure to loop it infinitely. Like I did the artwork, made sure that it looped infinitely. I think it turned out super cute. I'm so excited. I've never made washi tape before. I was worried that the wolves wouldn't turn out well, so this was going to be my test from this manufacturer, and it turned out really cutely. Like I think that you can still see enough detail. Like you don't have to see everything, but you can see Ari's little tongue hanging out and Marcus's eye. So I am very happy with how this turned out. This is only part of it. Some of the other things that I made for merch are a tote bag that should be coming in the mail soon, so that I'll show you here, and like a little sticky note pad. Also, things that I am going to work on this next week are a little metal pin, the sticker set, and I'm going to use the same little design from the metal pin to stick as like a charm on a pen, so it can kind of be like between these things like a little annotation kit, which I thought would be fun. So yeah, it's going well in terms of that if I ignore going to the hospital at 4 in the morning. My bad. I think that I'm going to try to change how I'm approaching some of these things to make sure that doesn't happen again. So I'll keep you updated. I'll do a more in-depth video about that soon. And I have like a couple different videos. I think that instead of just these update videos, I want to start doing 2 videos a week and be able to give you more insight into some of these different processes that I'm doing now that's not just about writing. That includes like how to set up your book for pre-order as an indie author, how to assign ISBNs and what not to do, and all that stuff. So I know that's something that you've been asking for, but if there's any other ideas that you have, feel free to comment them down below and just tell me how you're doing. I'm very curious. I hope that you're doing okay and that you also did not have to go to the hospital for unexpected reasons. But I hope that you are having a great day or night wherever you are. Thank you for being here on this journey of this, making this book, baby. The book is gonna be born soon. But yes, the Kickstarter, again, just to remind you, if you'd like to save it before it goes live, feel free to check it out down below. It's going to be running from July 1st to the 30th, and that's it. That's the chance to get it early. I'm also going to be putting everyone's names in it. Beyond that, the actual book is releasing on October 6th, 2026. So lots of exciting things are coming up. I'm looking forward to telling you how things are going next week with hopefully more positive updates. I will see you later. Goodbye for now.